Folks, hey, superstars. Hey, this is Wesley Virgin here. Hey, welcome to another Millionaire. I'm sorry. The Sunday mindset message here. It's Sunday. Okay. And I'm live. I'm your host, your favorite multimillionaire here from Houston, Texas. I go live every single Sunday to give you the message for the week. Okay. And many of you know my story. You know my resume. I'm a young black kid from Houston, Texas. Grew up poor, in between poor and average. And I became a multimillionaire in my early 30s, and which have allowed me to just have financial freedom. But most of all, what I'm most excited about is the shift that I was able to make mentally. Okay? The mindset. And I get it. You know, sometimes when you talk about mindset, people are like, oh, that's bullshit. You're talking about mindset, self-help. And I get it. You know, it is people on the internet or in the world that only talk about mindset as if that's the only thing that is necessary to create financial freedom. Of course, it's much more than that. But I truly believe that mindset and creating a shift is the inception point. It's where you start. You know, before you can change, the mind must change first here. So listen, this morning here, I got a cool rant for you. I'm going to talk about you want to be called crazy. Okay. And I'm going to give you some examples and share some stories I think going to help you. And this is really specifically for new entrepreneurs or young people who are still trying to find their way. They don't know what they want to do. They're making all these choices. They're trying all these different things. And this is even for the older folks. You know, if you're in your 50s and 60s and 70s and you're trying to take a massive leap of faith and you're trying to do something extraordinary, something insane, and you're not sure and you have a ton of doubt. And this is for the single moms who have a lot of babies and you feel that you are alone, but you still feel that there's something that you can do, okay, to create financial freedom for your babies. Not saying you want to be rich, not saying that you want to be Jeff Bezos, but you want to be financially comfortable in a way that you can do what you want when you want to do it. And I think this will help you, okay? So go ahead and comment your names here below, and let's start this morning's rant with something amazing is about to happen. I need all of you to type that. I want you to say that 7 times below. If you're brand new, well, welcome. And this is how we rock. This is how we start the day. This is how we start the week. This is how I start my week. Something amazing is about to happen because I want you to be in the expectation that something will happen. I don't want you to spend too much time thinking about the past and what has happened and what happened last week and what happened last month and what happened yesterday. Well, the great thing about the past is that it's gone. Okay? It's gone. So let's say something amazing is about to happen. Go ahead and type that 7 times. Something amazing is about to happen because it is. It's going to happen here on this rant this morning or this afternoon here. So watch to the very end here. Okay? Something amazing is about to happen. Even if you're logging in late, even if you're watching or listening to the replay, go ahead and type something amazing is about to happen 7 times. I'm a true believer that repetition is the mother of all skill. If you say something out of your mouth over and over and over again with passion and with conviction, that things will start to change in your mind. You will start to believe that something amazing will happen. And before you know it, it takes place. I truly believe that you have to create positivity. You have to create the energy that you want. You can't expect the energy to come from an outside source. Energy, motivation, motion has to start within you. So go ahead and type something amazing is about to happen. Go ahead and say it right now 7 times. So listen, let's talk about you got to be a little crazy to be successful. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? Got to be a little crazy. And I'm going to share some personal stories. You know my team. I have meetings with my leadership team. Many of you know I run a digital marketing company more specifically, I own the largest online manifestation university on the internet right now called Overnight Millionaire University, which trains people how to use their minds in a way to rewire the mind in a way to be able to expect and get what they want easier and faster without all the stress and all the anxiety. And I've been doing this for about 15 years now. I have about 70 people that works for me and under me and with me, indirectly and directly, contractors in different areas of business partnerships, but it's all digital marketing, right? It's all on the internet, selling products on the internet here. And, my leadership team, I have a meeting with them every Friday, and I always communicate goals that they can't really believe. Okay? Like I may tell them, I need you to do this, and this is my expectation. And, one of my leaders might say, well, I disagree, Wes. I don't know how you expect us to do that with this. But since you said, I'm going to do it anyway. And the reason why I tell you that, because listen, I've been very, very massively successful every single year since making my first million at the age of 35. And I think it's because people call me crazy. I remember when I had the first start when I was broke, not just broke, but I had quit my job. So I had about $10,000 saved up, and that money went very quickly. So I was broke in my 30s, early 30s. And I remember I told myself that I'm going to make $5,000 a day. And I remember going to an event. I remember this like it was yesterday. I remember going to an internet marketing event for the very first time. I'm like 32 years old. And, I'm a father. I got 3 kids and all that stuff. I'm not married, but, I'm chasing my dreams. And I went to this seminar in San Diego, California. And I met this guy that was making $800,000 a year. And at that time, that was a lot of money on the internet here. And I told him, I said, listen, I'm gonna make $5,000 a day, man. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be number one on this platform. Like I said, I'm gonna be the number one product in the world. And he was like, okay, Wes, I understand, I get you, but maybe you need to chunk it down a bit. Right now, you're not even making any money, Wes. And I said, listen to me. I am going to make $5,000 fucking dollars, excuse my language, every single day. And he thought I was crazy. He thought the goals were too ambitious. It just to him in his mind, it just didn't make sense because I wasn't making any money at the time. Right? I was trying to teach myself how to become a marketer. And let me tell you something, long story short, 2 years later, I didn't make $5,000 a day. I made $30,000 a day. Because the first month I made $1 million. And I was number one on the platform. I was number one on this platform on the internet here that sells internet products. All because the only difference was I just said what I was going to do. And sometimes, listen, I want all of you to really pay attention to this. Sometimes I don't think you realize how powerful words are when they're paired with emotion and conviction. Does that make sense? I don't think you realize how powerful that is when they're paired with emotion and conviction. Okay? And let me share this with you. If people are not calling you crazy, all that means is you're in your comfort zone, in my opinion. Like I remember when I quit my job, my parents thought I was a little loony. They're like, what? You quitting your job? You're making $100,000 a year. Why would you quit a job that's stable? I know that's smart. They thought I was crazy. They couldn't understand why you would leave a six-figure position to go chase your dreams. What I want you to understand is it's okay to be crazy. The reason why I'm doing this here, this rant here, this message, this morning here on Sunday, I want you to understand it's okay to be a little crazy, okay? Because there's two things that happens at the end of the day. You're either going to be first, because you may have this crazy idea. I have a lot of them, right? And let me tell you something. Yeah, like right now, you know my crazy idea, my crazy thing in my mind? And to me, it's not crazy, but to you, maybe. I'm going to make $1 million per day profit. Like, imagine that. You can't even imagine $1 million a year, some of you. But I'm gonna make $1 million per day profit, traveling the world, relaxing, doing much of nothing. I'm gonna make $1 million. Listen to me. 1 million profit, not gross, not total revenue. $1 million profit per day in my bank account, free cash flow for me to do whatever I want to do with it. That's crazy, right? To you, some of you are like, what? How you gonna do that? You know what I mean? Right? But it's okay, because two things happen. I either become the first one in my industry that does it, or I guess I'm just crazy because it never happens. Okay. You know, I had the opportunity to talk to a billionaire years ago. I was in Monaco. At the time, I was traveling a ton, like every single month. And I went to Monaco by myself. Monaco's a beautiful place. It's definitely the home of several, there's a ton of billionaires there. Had the opportunity to meet one. And I was just talking with the guy. I didn't really know who he is. Then I found out who he was. I won't say his name, but they just say he owns a coffee company that's very successful. And he was talking to me. I was talking to him. Like, I didn't know who he was. And we were just having casual conversation, you know, hey, how you doing? You know, where you from? I'm from here, you know, blah, 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 whatever. And then I found out what he did, and I found out who he was. And he gave me some good advice. He gave me a few pieces. He says, you know, Wes, you've done very well. I'm proud of you because you figured it out. You know, most people don't figure it out. And when he said figure it out, because that's a true game that's being played when it comes to making money, right? It's a reason why people are poor, why people are average, why people are rich, why people have a 9-to-5 job, why people have ownership. It's a reason, right? And it's a game why certain entrepreneurs are successful and why just some people just never become successful. Doesn't matter how hard they work, how many books they read, how many seminars they go to, how many mentors they have. They never get it. And he said, man, I'm proud of you because you figured out the game. Because it is a true game. You know, maybe I'll talk more about that on another rant. But he said, you know, but at my level, you know, when you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, this guy's a billionaire. He said, you got to be a little crazy, which means is you have to look at what everybody else is doing, even in your industry, first. You got to look at what they're doing, like what's the standard, okay? Like, for example, like the standard refund rate maybe in one industry is 10% or 20%. He said, well, Wesley, you have to think about how you can change the standard to 1%. He said the standard of maybe selling my coffee is, I don't know, a certain percentage of how many people are going to come in every day. Well, you got to think differently about that. Then you got to think about, well, people, they drink coffee only just because they think the caffeine gives them energy and they're able to run their day or whatever. But you got to think deeper than that. He said, you got to think, how can I get these people addicted to the coffee? That they stand outside the store in the morning in their cars before 8 o'clock waiting for it to open. And, you know, I was like, he just allowed me to think differently about everything that was happening. He says, you know, don't think about just being something. Like, if you want to be at my level, you can't just think about, like, just owning a company. You have to really thinking about doing something that's outside the norm of the social conformity of what everybody agree of what normal is, if that makes sense. He said, you got to think outside of that. And I took that on. And at first, I didn't really understand what he meant. But I mean, now I apply that even in my companies today. Like, I believe that we set the standard. Like my company, we set the standard. Like, for example, if the close rate for my sales team, if it's average around the board, I don't know, say if it's 10% or 20%, well, my goal is to get 70% or 90%. Does that make sense? So he gave me that piece of advice. He said, listen, Wes, you're going to be a little crazy, which means that people are going to call you crazy because they're going to say, well, that's not industry standards. Well, that's not what we're seeing right now. Or you're going to realize this, Wes, that everybody's going to tell you why you can't do it. Even your own employees, even your leadership team. And that's okay. But you got to stick to your guns because they just don't have the vision yet. And two things are going to happen. You're either going to do it, and then they're going to like, oh my God, you're a fucking king, you're the God, or you're not going to do it. And then you'll just be getting called crazy until you do it. But you want to be at my level, you got to be a little crazy. So that was powerful. And then he gave me some other piece of advice I think you guys appreciate. He says, always. And I think this is the reason why I've been very successful. I haven't had any down years. He said, always think and act as if it's day one. He said, have the day one personality. It doesn't matter how much money you make, Wes. Just always have that day one mentality. Because it's very easy to get comfortable, to relax, to get lackadaisical in business, especially once you get some success. He said, always see the day as it's the day when you started the business, which means that grind, that hunger, that hunt, that dog in you, it should never sleep. And that was powerful because I think this is the reason why we're doing very well company-wise in all my different companies, and we're just only excelling and only making progress here. So listen, you got to if people are not calling you crazy, you're doing something wrong, in my opinion. How many of you know some folks that are calling you crazy because you're doing things that don't make sense to them? Maybe you quit your job and they say you're crazy. You don't have another job. What are you doing? You don't have a backup. All right. Maybe you're spending money, investing money, and you're losing it. It's so unfortunate that people believe if they invest money and if they lose the money, that means that's a failure. That is not a failure. It's just a part of the learning process. In my opinion, I never lose money. It doesn't matter if I invest money, I don't get any money back. That's not a loss. I'm learning. Like people go to a 4-year college, right? 4 years of college. They invest all that money. And they don't get none of that money back. You spent $50,000, $80,000, $100,000 on college, but you're still paying a loan. Where's that money? So I don't understand why people, when it comes to investing in themselves, investing in their business, they see all this money going out and they don't see no money coming in, but you don't see it coming in when you go to college. Like for 4 years, you're paying out this money while you're working at Chick-fil-A or Walmart or you're a waiter or waitress or whatever job you have. Like you're not bringing that money back, but you're investing it every single semester. So why are we complaining when we invest money in ourselves and our business? And just because it doesn't come back today, or next year, that means that's a failure or a loss. It's not. You're investing in your education business-wise. The difference from college, I'm explaining it like this. When you go to college, you go to business school, right? You're paying to be in business school, which to me is a joke. But when you start a business yourself, you're spending money in business school, but you're teaching yourself. So all the money that you're spending, you're investing in your education to learn how business works and how to be profitable. It's the same money, maybe less, because college is at least 50 to 100,000 plus if you do 4 years, right? So if you really think about it, okay, um, if you choose to actually start a business, all that money you're spending for 4 to 5 years, well, that's the education. So you're not losing. You're learning a lot. Does that make sense? Like you're learning. It's not the period of profit. Like when you go to school for the first year, you're a freshman. You're not going to get a degree after the first year or the second year or the third year, fourth year, depending on your profession or your career choice. Same thing in business, folks. Same thing with your life. When you're trying to reconstruct your life, it may take some time. It may, but it's okay. Okay? You're investing. If you go into the gym, you work it out, and you don't see results in 2 weeks or 2 months, it's okay. You're investing to one day to get the degree or get the payout. But you're not losing anything. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? Comment below, please. Okay? You're not losing anything. People can call you crazy for 4 years. Listen, people called me crazy for several years because every year I would tell people I'm going to be a millionaire. I tell my friend, I tell my parents, I'm going to be a millionaire. Okay, so where's the money at, Wes? I understand you want to be a millionaire, but you need to pay your bills. You just got kicked out of your apartment. What's going on there? I understand you want to be a millionaire, but you know what's going on here? You don't have a job. Your credit's kind of jacked up. Are you sure you're making smart decisions? They all thought I was crazy. And the great thing about people that think you are crazy, especially family, there's an opportunity for them to leave your life, honestly, for a short period of time. Okay? But if you already a CEO, how many of you are owners of your own company? Comment below. Like how many of you are CEOs of your own company? Comment below. If you're not communicating a vision to your team that sounds a little crazy, to me, it's going to be very difficult for you to be on top. Because the reason why people are very successful is because they have these crazy visions. They have these things that people can't even believe. I can't communicate to my team and tell them everything that they can believe. Because if I do that, then they're going to do less. I got to tell them something that sounds not even achievable. Even though I know it's achievable, because if I do it, I know I can do it. Anything I ask my team to do, I know I can do it for sure. But if I do it, I'm going to fire you because I don't need you. I give example. Like I had a media buyer that ran Facebook ads for me for a very long time, maybe 7 to 8 years. He ran my Facebook ads for a very long time. And he was doing very well. But then it got to the point, I don't know, he wasn't doing well anymore. And I gave him so many opportunities. I believed in him. And I mean, I love that guy till today. And I wanted him to be successful. But his mindset was jacked. He didn't even realize it. His mindset was contaminated. Because the problem is he can't stick to nothing. And the problem is he really wanted something so badly. He was so connected to the outcome and connected to the goal. He couldn't see the day-to-day work and the day-to-day skill that he had to build. Until you build a skill, it didn't matter. And let me tell you what happened. You know, I told him one day, I said, listen, you're either going to do this or I'm going to do it. And I don't run Facebook ads. But if you can't get your shit together, I'm going to do it. And he ended up, we ended up parting ways, ended up quitting. And I learned the Facebook ads. It took me 2 months. And I'm spending $400,000 a month right now myself running my own Facebook ads because it wasn't that difficult. And then the guy tried to come back, of course. They come back. Oh, I should never left you. Oh, my God. I give him opportunity for another position. He was doing well, and he quit again. And this happens to a lot of people. Like, I'm not trying to throw rocks at them, but this is a typical behavior of people who are so connected to their outcome and goal. And when they see other people are succeeding, they don't understand the game. Like the billionaire that gave me the advice, like that guy, that is a game. And he didn't get it. And he still don't get it. because he thinks that he's just going to hit the ball one time and hit on a home run. Yeah, you may get lucky one time in business, but you might not get lucky twice or three times. Eventually, you got to know what the hell you're doing, and you got to know what skill you need to perfect and build. Okay? So the thing is, anything I communicate to my team, I can do it. I know I can. And if you want me to prove it to you, if I do it, you're going to get fired. I'm going to terminate you immediately. I don't need you. See, that's the type of attitude you have to have as a CEO. It doesn't mean you have to be an expert in every area. Like me, I'm not going to lie. I'm like a genius because I know how to do a lot of stuff in my business. I know how to run ads. I know how to make video editing. I know how to write copy. I know how to sell. I know how to code. I know how to program. Like I know how to do a lot of stuff. I'm like a unicorn in this bit. And I'm very technical. I know how to build a website. I know how to fix one. Right? So I know how to build applications. So it's like, I'm a unicorn. But the thing is, as the owner of your business, you're going to have to be a little crazy. Period. You have to be. And to me, I don't think I'm crazy. I think it's normal to think that I know I'm going to do $1 million. To me, it's not even a ton of money. So I don't know what your goal is. I don't know what you want to do. And I know you folks follow me, and I do appreciate that. And I know many of you have bought my courses. You bought my programs over the years. You bought other programs and other courses. But you're going to have to be a little crazy. You know what a little crazy is? To working out 7 days a week. They tell you, oh, you shouldn't work out 7 days a week. You shouldn't. You need rest. There's some people work out 7 days a week and you can see it in their bodies. Some people don't have cheat days. You'll see somebody that's fit. Oh, I have cheat days all the time. You think that's normal. Oh, okay, I have a cheat day. And you got another guy that never has a cheat day, ever. You may say, oh, that's crazy. You don't have a cheat day? People even tell me, say, Wes, do you ever have any fun? All I see you do is work. Like, I live in this building. I don't know people. I know a few people. I don't really know people in this building because I don't talk. All right, but people see me every day. That's like, they say, oh, man, you going to walk tonight? I say, yeah. You working out today? Dang, you work? Like they see I'm because I'm very structured. And if you look on the outside looking in, you may see, man, this guy's not having fun. Like he's not bringing up girls up to his penthouse every week and every weekend. And I don't ever see this guy drunk. I don't see him acting crazy. It's just like he does the same thing every day. Does this guy even have fun? Does he ever go out and enjoy himself? And they might think I'm crazy. And I'm like, okay. And to me, this is not crazy at all. I just would rather work. And people don't even understand that when I say I want to work. On a week, I want to work. I want to work out, then I want to work. And I want to work, and I want to work, and I want to work. And in the middle of the night, I want to work. I just want to work. I don't want to go out. I don't want to go to dinner. I don't want to go to I just want to work. The only time I go out a little bit, just because I got a girlfriend, obviously, I got to, go out with her and we do this and do this. Of course, it's a part of being in a relationship, and I enjoy doing that. But other than that, I just want to work. And some people don't even understand that. They say, oh, well, people need a break, Wes. Wes, well, it's the holidays. I don't give a damn about the holidays. I think you should be working, in my opinion. But no one believes that. People say, no, man, I got to spend time with family. I got to do this. And you want to be at the top of your game. Like you want to be at the top of your game. But you're giving yourself excuses on why you need to take a break, why you need to relax, why you need to have some fun, why you need to have a drink, you need to hang out with your family, you need to do wine and dine, you need to do happy hour. I just think that's all bullshit. It's a waste of time. I think you should be working on the goal. Whatever your goal, you should be working on it. And every day you should be working in the present moment of building your skill. What are you going to think I'm going to do today? You know what I'm doing today on a Sunday? Aside from talking to you, like I talked to you, right? And right now, I broke my laptop last night, so I got a new I have a new computer coming in because the computer's not broken, but the screen is broken. But I just bought me something from Best Buy. I got a DoorDash. They DoorDash from Best Buy. I'm sure it's at my door right now, waiting for me to put together. I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to work for the next 10 hours because I have an amazing idea that's going to guarantee, like this week, I'll do about $300,000 a day. But it's going to take me 10 or 12 hours of programming and focus to make that happen. That's what I'm going to do today. What are you doing? Hello. Like, I just want to know, what are you doing? You know, when I'm in this building, people know I got all these cars, right? Obviously, because they see me with all the cars. Say, "Oh, you that guy with the cars? Are you that guy with the cars?" But they don't realize the work ethic that I put in to be able to have the vehicles. They don't, you don't get it because no one sees this part. You do, because I go live and I do it on purpose because I want people to see my journey to $1 million a day. I want you to see it. When you see me on every screen on the planet, you're gonna see me everywhere. You hear me? Not because I'm trying to be famous, because I'm significant, because I have a message to share with the world. I've educated myself in a way that I know how to deliver a message that would change your mind. I don't care about changing your life. I'm going to change your mindset, your belief structure, your perception of your reality. That's what I'm great at, and I get better at it every single day. That's why I'm going to be on you're going to see me on movies, you're going to see me on TV shows, you're going to see me on your cell phone every day. You're going to be like, "Oh my God, Wesley again?" You're going to be trying to block the ads. You're going to, "Oh my God, this guy keeps coming up on my phone." I go to the gym here in Houston, Texas, and this one training guy said, "Hey man, I think I saw you online, man. You just keep popping up on my feed. You just keep popping up." Yeah, of course. That's going to happen to me all the time. People are like, "Man, you keep popping up. I can't get rid of you. What are you selling? What do you do?" Buy it. Okay? I'm just letting you know what's happening. But you need to listen, folks, what I want you to understand is what's happening behind the scenes. This is what's happening behind the scenes. You see what I'm doing right here? Doesn't matter if I'm talking to 28 people or 28 million people. I don't care. I'm consistent. This is another thing I teach my leadership. Be consistent. You have to portray the same exact behavior that you want from the people that work for you and work with you. They got to look at you and be like, "Golly, man, they're good. Oh my God, they work so much." But this is the reason why I guess they can do those things. See, my work ethic and me being a little crazy, that's why I got cars that just sit there. I got a $400,000 Rolls Royce that's just sitting there, calling it beautiful. Just sitting there. Pay $5,000 a month every single month, just sitting there in the garage doing nothing. Not because I don't want to drive it, I just forget. Sometimes I'm a Lamborghini Euros guy some days. Some days I'm an STL. What I want you to understand is you just got to see the work ethic. You got to see the glory, but you don't see the story. You just see all the glory. You look me up on the internet and you see I'm traveling the world and I'm going here and I'm buying this and I'm purchasing this and my beautiful penthouse. Yeah. My place in Miami, my place in Colombia, blah, blah, blah. But you don't see the story, baby. You ain't see the work. Like today, 12 hours, baby. Nothing else. Eat, work. Eat, meditate, work. That's it. All day. Not talking to anybody. I don't have no boys. My boys are not coming over. I don't have any random women coming to my place. No, it's work. That's it. Period. Get it? So, like I said, it's okay to be a little crazy, folks. Okay? It's okay to be a little crazy. All right? Any questions for me, folks? Thank you for joining me here. And listen, I want you to get to work today. I want you to work on the weekends. How many people do you think work on the weekends that don't have to? People tend to work on the weekends because they have to work. "Oh, I got to work. Oh, my God, I got to work weekends." Good. You should want to work weekends. Do you want to be like the losers? And I get it. You might say, "Don't call people losers, Wes." Well, I think a loser is a person that have big goals and big dreams, but when it comes to the weekend, they want to relax, drink, and have sex and just do random shit. I don't know. Oh, let me go to the run group. Let me go to the day party. Let me go to the brunch place. Let me blah, blah, blah. Let me go eat and get fatter and fatter. I mean, I don't know. The weekend, I don't even think about a weekend. What's a weekend? It's just another day to work. And that's how when people ask me what's the difference between, the poor and the rich, they don't think about the weekend as like it's a day to relax. They just it's just another day. I don't know. And a vacation and the rest, they can do it whenever they want to. But many of you use these 2 days just to be degenerates, to do things that is not productive and beneficial to your progress. And then you wonder why in 5 years or in 2 and 3 years, and then you see these people that you used to know, and all of a sudden they're doing all the things that you've dreamed about. Because they was putting in the work when no one was watching. They was putting in the work when no one was paying attention. They was putting in the work when no one knew who they were. That's why. They understand. See, successful people understand that weekends are a great opportunity to get ahead of the game. And people never see it coming. All of a sudden, the next day, boom, you're on Forbes because you saw you're coming for $1 billion. You're like, who is that? Don't even know who this person is. But he'd been working in his garage for 10 years on something big. It happens all the time. It's just not happening to you because you're stuck and you're part of the matrix. What Jim Rohn, who is a great motivational speaker, he says, walk away from the 97%. The 97% of people are just chaotic. They're undisciplined. They're foolish. They're lazy. They're disappointing. They just drink. They use drugs. They use things to try to pacify themselves that they know that is debilitating themselves. The 97%, they don't read books. 97%, they spend time on the TikTok, the social media, the Facebook, the Netflix, the Tubies, the Hulus. That's it. 97% of people, they go to a job that they can't stand. They in traffic, cursing people out, honking their horns. 97% of people don't even have $5,000 in their bank account. He says, walk away from the 97%. Join the 3%. And to be a part of the 3%, is it hard? Yes, because you're lonely. Because there's not a lot of us out here. In the beginning, you're going to be lonely. Because the people who are actually 3%ers and getting results, they don't want to deal with you yet. Because you got to prove yourself. Because there's a lot of people out here posing like they are committed and disciplined. And you look at them. You look at their lives. Look at their behaviors, their mannerisms. You can tell that they're not. So you have to earn your spot at the table to be a part of the 3%, where people that are in the 3% will want to fool or deal with you. And until then, you're going to be by yourself. Or you're going to be with the 97% of people that you can't stand or that you're familiar with. Me, I'd rather be in the gap. I'm not going to be a part of the 97%. And if I can't be a part of the 3% right now, I'll be in the gap. That means I'll be by myself, working on myself, working on my skill, working on my trade, until the 3% say, hey, come on. Come on in. We got you. Let me show you a few tricks. Try this, try this, try this. You'll make 10 times more money. All right, folks. I love you. Thank you for joining me. Come with the word value. Wesley, what's the smallest shift you made that produced the largest results? The smallest shift I've ever made? Easy, belief. It just changed. I just, honestly, I told a story before. Listen, several years ago, I remember sleeping on the air mattress, and I was watching a video on the internet. It was an entrepreneur. He was in network marketing. He was making $1 million a month. And I'm watching him on stage, on YouTube, on my air mattress. And you know what he said? Someone asked him a question. And this was a small shift. It was small. He says, someone asked him, say, hey, if you could do it all over again from scratch, if you could do it all over again from scratch, what would you do? And you know what he said? You know, most people may say, well, I would have started this business. I would have started this business, blah, 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 blah. He said, I would have think bigger sooner. That's what he said. He said, if I had to start all over, I would have thought bigger sooner. Because the way that I was thinking 10 years ago, it got me here. But say if I was thinking a little bit bigger, well, I would have been even bigger. So that's what he said. I would have thought bigger sooner. So that day, in my air mattress, I had just moved back from Dallas because I was in a toxic relationship with this girl. And I was putting my life back together, right? And you know what I did? That day I said, I'm going to make $5,000 a day. I'm not even making $5,000 a month. Not even making $5,000 every 2 months. I said, I'm just going to think bigger. I've never made any money online at that point. But I'm trying to make money online. He said, think bigger sooner. So I said, okay. $5,000 a day. I think I went from a couple hundred a day to $5,000 a day in my mind. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just like $1 million a day. Okay? $1 million net. Why not? Think bigger sooner. Yeah, maybe it might take 5 years, 6 years, 10 years to do it. So what? At least I'm thinking bigger sooner. Now, that was a big shift for me. That was a huge shift. And it happened. It worked, you know. That's what my mind was focused on. So, well, you know, what is your mind focused on? Any questions for me? You're very welcome. Any questions for me? If you got value, comment the word value right now in the comments below, please. Any more questions before I let you go on this beautiful Sunday afternoon? Remember, something amazing is about to happen to you. You hear me? Come here. Something amazing is about to happen in your finances. Somebody on here is going to make $50,000 a day this week. Somebody's going to make $100,000 a day this week. Somebody's going to make $1,000 a day this week. Somebody's going to leave their job this week. They're going to say, fuck it, I'm leaving my job. I'm done with this shit. I'm going for it. Shit, I'm only making $20 an hour. What is that? That's only $160 a day. After taxes, that's only $120 a day. I'm not even making $1,000 a week. What the hell? I'm out of here. Somebody going to do it. Somebody going to tell somebody no in a relationship and say, you know, I'm done with you. I love you, but I love you enough to leave you. Because we're just not compatible and you're slowing me down. And I'm tired of being fake. I'm tired of trying to make this relationship work. I'm out of here. Somebody going to leave their husband. Somebody going to leave their wife. Somebody going to leave their woman. Somebody going to leave their girlfriend, their boyfriend today, this week. Somebody going to quit their job. Somebody going to quit school too. Somebody say, you know why I'm in school right now? I know I don't want to do this. I'm just trying to please people. Trying to please my mom and my dad going to school. Fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm not going to school. I don't need it. Because I want to be successful. I'm going to be successful financially, so I don't need school. I'm going to do what Wesley did. He didn't go to school. And this man worked $30 million, so why do I have to go? I don't have to go. I'm going to find another way. And it may take me 10 years to do it, but I'm willing to do the time to have the life that I deserve to have. Okay? Much love, folks. This is Wesley, $1 Billion Virgin, and let's go.